Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can create a resilient distributed dataset in PySpark. So, just a brief about resilient distributed dataset. This is just one core building block of PySpark. And it refers to an immutable and fault-tolerant collection of data objects that are distributed across nodes in a cluster. So all the data that is contained in an RDD is segmented into what we can call logical partitions, and that then allows for distributed computation on these objects, and that computation can happen across multiple nodes within a data processing cluster. So we want to look at how we can create an RDD from scratch so that we can start to manipulate data in PySpark. So what I'll do is head over to our command line and start our PySpark. I'll start PySpark from the command line. Let me just increase that size there. So we are now in the PySpark environment, and I can now start to create an RDD, Resilient Distributed Dataset. And before I can do that, I need to create a Spark session. Obviously, before you can do any Spark programming, any Spark coding, there you need to create a Spark session. So I'm going to create a Spark session so that I can initialize everything that I need to do. So I'll say from PySpark.sql import Spark session, like that, and I press enter. So I'm just importing the necessary library there, and then I'll create the Spark session now and say Spark is equals to call the Spark session is equals to Spark session dot builder dot master, and I'm going to explain all the components that I am entering here. Master is equals to local master is equals to localhost, and this localhost is one core processor there, and my app name, the application name is going to be, I'll just say demo. That's my app name, and then I say get or create. So that's the statement that will start my Spark session. And to just explain my code here, obviously something's not right. If I see that my statement is not executing, I need to go back and have a relook at my code and see where I may have left. Yes, here I've put an extra bracket there, because when I press enter, this statement has to run, and there we go, my statement is running. So I'm now within my Spark session, and I can start to create my RDD. But before I can do that, let me just explain the components of this statement that I just wrote here. So I'll start from I think here I was just importing the Spark session. When I said from PySpark.sql import Spark session, I'm importing the library that will contain the functions such as the master app name. All right. So they are contained in the Spark session. So now when I say master, I am saying this is the name of the cluster where I am going to be creating my RDD. So that name is on my local machine for now. So local here, it means this is a standalone machine that is going to be executing my app there, and one there is standing for, I can say, the number of CPU cores that are going to be working on my RDD. Okay, and the app name is definitely just the name of my application that I want to produce. And the get or create, this will return whether or not the Spark session is already in existence or not. If it's in existence, then it will just get that Spark session. If it's not in existence, then it will create a new Spark session. All right. So now I'll go ahead and create my RDD, and I'm going to create my RDD using the parallelize function that is found in the Spark context library. And this function is used to create an RDD when I already have data that I want to use to create the RDD. So I'm going to create the data that I'm going to use for the RDD, and I'll simply say data is equals to, I'll just have a list of numbers here. I can have a list of numbers 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. I'll just have that list of numbers, and I'll press enter. So I've created a data object there, and I will then pass this into an RDD, which I'll call my data RDD is equals to Spark dot, then I call the Spark context function, Spark context, and I parallelize. I call the parallelize function, and I pass this data that I have created here. I pass that variable into the parallelize function, and I press enter. So my RDD has been created there. So if I want to show the contents of this RDD, I can simply say print. I can use a print statement. Then I call the name of my RDD, which is data RDD, and I say dot collect, and I press enter. So it's going to print the contents of my data set there. So I have 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 11. So that's basically how we can create a simple RDD from data that is already existing using the parallelize function. Thank you for watching.